Greetings. My name is Nizar Farsakh. I'm a lecturer in international affairs at the George Washington University in Washington, D.C., the US. And my talk will be about raising global awareness about Middle East instability and prospects for the future. By way of background, I am a result of a marriage between a European and a Middle Eastern, born and raised in Dubai, studied in the American University of Beirut in Lebanon, a year just after the Civil War. And then between 1999 and end of 2008, I lived and worked in Palestine and the West Bank for 10 years, the last 5 years of which was with the Negotiations Affairs Department. And that gave me a front row seat at not only how policy is made, because Palestine is in fact a very small space, and I got to work not only with the ministers, but in fact with the prime minister and with the president, and was part of many negotiations sessions. So I got to get a sense of what actually happens in the room and what could actually impact it, as opposed to what people see in the media or outside or through reading books and what have you. So I had a first-hand seat in what happens on the ground, in fact, and what impacts the world. Now, why raising global awareness? I believe that for better or worse, the Middle East and its issues are disproportionately represented in world affairs. And therefore, there's a big impact for what happens in the Middle East in the globe. And therefore, there's a lot that the globe can do to try to minimize, if not address, a lot of the reasons for those instabilities. And the reason why I call it roots, because I believe for the last 100 years, the globe or the world has been dealing with the symptoms only and not addressing the cause, the roots of why there is instability in the Middle East. And it's very illustrative to think of how, for example, in the late 1800s, Egypt was more developed than Korea. And in fact, you had several Korean students studying in Cairo. And now in the 21st century, we see how far Korea has gone and how Egypt continues to struggle, not only in economic terms, but also in political affairs. So we'll try to touch upon some of the key misconceptions and reasons for the instability that we see, and what the globe, in fact, has misunderstood and therefore interfered in an adverse way, in fact, exacerbating the situation. Now, the background I gave was to show that I had the cultural mix that helped me be sensitized to the fact that there are different worlds and different sets of values. And therefore, at a very early age, I understood and was present to the fact that one group of people had all sorts of misconceptions and stereotypes about another group, whether the West about the East or the East about the West, because I was part of those conversations and I realized the amount of ignorance that was at the source of those stereotypes. And then from those stereotypes and those misconceptions, all the sorts of adverse policies that came from bad quality information. And that's what we're going to try to touch upon in this lecture. I hope that you can make it. And I look forward to interacting with you and engaging you after the lecture as well. Please feel free to reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to speak with you one-on-one or in a group. Looking forward to seeing you all.